That was the fastest 23.2 seconds I've ever seen.
Yes.
Anyway, welcome everybody. It's a big day on the grid. Larry T is here from Platypod.
Yeah, hey, Larry
Eric's
T.
here from Kelby One. I'm just a dude.
It's cold here in Tampa. Look at that.
Former Chippendale, though. I'm former Chippendale.
We got all our jackets on. Well, the two
Yeah,
of us have their
Yeah,
jackets
we got
on.
20, because I got 20 degrees in New Jersey. I feel like I'm in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's surprisingly, shockingly cold. But anyway, we are very glad you're here today. Lots of stuff. It's blind photo. So we're going to turn it over to Larry. Larry, tell us what we're doing today. Give us the scoop.
All right. First, I want to give you a little bit of history of Platypod, and very briefly, I want to show you why Platypod is important when you go on vacation or you're traveling the world and you need a tripod support. Why you really need this. And then we're going to go and show our Kickstarter video, and then Scott, you will have the honor of launching the Kickstarter for us.
I'm ready.
And you were majorly influential in setting this up, and we just simply followed through. We can talk about that a little bit more as we go in. So it all started basically in about 2014.
Okay. I still have that one.
After my trip, I think we talked about this before, my trip in Bryce Canyon together with my wife, Minna. And when we came up with a heavy tripod, I was just having trouble breathing. I ended up at the cardiologist basically after that trip. And I said, you know what? I need a compact tripod that I could stick in my camera bag. And I had one of the twisty bendy ones that just took up the space of a telephoto lens. And I said, okay, I'll get a flat tripod. And I looked online, and absolutely nobody made one. There were plenty of miniature tripods. I looked at on B&H, and they had maybe 250 miniature tripods, and they were all rated to about 1 or 2 pounds. And I'm sorry, when you're carrying this with you, that's just not going to cut it. So decided to invent my own. And
can we see it? Can you hold it up so
we're
we
going to
can
show this? This is the original. This is some of you still may have one of these.
I still have one
the
of those.
original Platypod Pro plate, and it actually had on it a 3/8 inch stud and also 1/4 inch stud. And we had problems with the 1/4 inch because it was knocking into some people's equipment. So we removed that, and I'll show you what we did down the line. So this then evolved. People wanted a bigger one, so a few years later,
the Max.
We came up with the Max.
The Max.
And by the way, I just watched the old Max video. If you do go onto Kickstarter, go back and look at the project for the Max. That was a really funny video that we did back then. So Max was able to really handle heavy equipment, and we designed this around a wonderful classic ball head, the Really Right Stuff BH55.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people own that ball head, and it fit perfectly on the Max. And the Max had little spikes that you could screw into here, so if you're on rock or concrete, you'd be able to maintain hold, and it had a little metal holder. And you can. I looked on eBay this morning. You can hardly find these anymore. So just realize if you have a Max and you want to sell it, people will probably pay you more than you originally paid for it. Then we got so many requests for upgrades to the Platypod Pro that we decided to do an upgrade, and out of that came the Platypod. Where are they? Platypod Ultra.
Oh,
and
that's
I think
my baby.
This was your favorite, Scott.
Oh, I love that sucker.
What was nice about Ultra is you could put straps in it. You could strap it onto things. It had countersunk screw places so that you could screw it onto things. Little place to hold it by a carabiner. And it had a lot of nice little features. We did remove that second stud, and to make up for it, we developed adapters. Now here's a newer form of the adapter, which is that disc that you just showed.
Yeah.
The bottom of the disc has a 3/8 inch. The top is a 1/4 inch. So now if you wanted to, it formed a little riser, and you can convert the 3/8 inch bolt to 1/4 inch, and then it won't knock into anything when you want to mount that on. So we tried to, to satisfy all the needs. But people wanted a little more, so we redid the Max, and this time everybody said, you know what, the spikes are great, but it means I have to carry something extra with me. Can't you incorporate those spikes into the plate? So we did, and we developed these special hinges thanks to my wonderful engineer, Merrin Swayze, out in Utah. And you could put down these spikes, and we've recently I'm saying the word "and" too much, aren't I?
Yeah.
We recently also developed some tips here, rubber tips, which you could retract back. And if you don't have those tips because you have an older version of the Extreme, those are available for separate purchase. And I think it's about $9 for a set of 4 of those. You can find those on the Platypod website or on B&H. Anyhow, now we've gotten, one more little thing. Last year, we came down here and we presented the Platypod grip so that you could now mount your smartphone onto a tripod. Now, there's a lot of tripod mounts out there, and, Eric, what do you say?
Well,
Is this the
I'm
same
telling you, the thing is with that one, for the price point and the build quality, that's the best phone holder on the market.
It's true.
Like, it does everything you need it to. It articulates. The other thing is the bottom is Arca Swiss compatible,
Yes,
so
it
that
is.
can go right on my. Like, I don't need another attachment when I use it. It's amazing.
Yeah, if you zoom in on that,
a
it
lot
will
of them
fit
don't
right
have those kind of features, and for the price point, that is the best one on the market. The way it even articulates, like gets loose and articulates, you can go into any position because it's almost like a magic arm type attachment, like how it moves. It's really cool.
And the reason you'd want to put it on a ball head, because it does have its own swivel for positioning,
Yeah.
but you would want to put it on a ball head in case you want to do panning, very smooth panning. So the ball head would provide panning for that, and also to allow better downward movement, because this is pretty good. I'm sorry, better upward movement. This is pretty good going down, but not as well going up. So that adds extra functionality. Plus, it's got mounts on the bottom. We can get a close up on that. It's got mounts on the bottom with 3/8 inch and 1/4 inch available there too. So when I was down here last year, Scott, you said to me, okay, we love the Ultra, but people really want to see the fold down feet on something that's the size of the Ultra.
Yeah. Get in
Shortly
your pocket.
after that, we went to Imaging USA. And Larry Becker, my friend Shiv Verma, and I sat down literally with a napkin and started drawing out something quite a bit different than this, because the big problem is, where do you put the fold-down spikes? There's really not a whole lot of place. Well, believe it or not, we went back to our engineer, Marin. He figured out a way to get spikes onto something about this size that you could still slip in your pocket and make that workable. Along with, by the way, there is one more plate that we made. This is a bargain basement one. It's about $10.
We like this one,
I
though.
like that one. I
This
like
is,
that one.
this is for photographers and non-photographers alike who want something inexpensive. This is about $10. And
you
could
put
just-
that combo together as a mobile photographer.
That's a
that
hot
opens
combo
up
right there.
Worlds right there.
So
That's exactly what I
This
used.
was very nice.
Yep.
But again, if you're on irregular surfaces, you're on
Yeah.
an angle, you don't want to put this on your car hood. It might
And I
slide
get
right
what you-
off.
Right.
The new product you got would really take it up a notch.
Oh yes, it
really would.
Oh yes, it will. So I just want to show some, just a few images that really explain why do you need to take a tripod at all on a vacation with you. So if we can bring up first slide. 2 years ago, this is 2022. I was at the Photography Show. Very clever name. TPS. I think you were there last year.
I was there last year. I'm there
Keynotes
this
Yeah,
year.
you'll be there again this year.
And this year it's going to be in London. So
That's
we
right,
will-
at
and
the XL.
We're going to be joining you too.
Oh, excellent. Ron.
So 2 years ago, it was a little bit of a tough time, personally for my family and for England for sure. For my family, my wife was ill at the time. She had to have surgery. I had to go because there were so many people that were involved in setting us up at the show. And one day, I think it was Monday of the show, was Queen Elizabeth's funeral. And everything shut down. The photography show shut down. Dave Williams says to me, come, let's get out of here. You've got a lot on your mind. Let's just get away a little bit. I'm going to take you somewhere special. So we got into his mobile van. Oh, I forget what had a long Norwegian name to it. Way, I think was the name of it.
Yep, that sounds right.
And so we got in there. He drove me out to Stratford-upon-Avon, and we met Peter Treadway, you can see here.
On the left?
On the left. And I said, there's an interesting house over there, but let's do something different. Instead of just taking a picture of the house, let's have Peter drive across it. He's got this brightly colored outfit, and there you are, Peter driving back and forth across this house. And I said, that's kind of cool. We'll try to blur him out, get it at a long angle, so he's got kind of that hero shot. We set up the camera with a platypod. I
like this.
And if I can have the next slide, and this is the shot that we got. Now, I said, okay, well, this was a really beautiful house. So where's Shakespeare's house that he grew up in? And Peter says to me, or Dave said to me, that was Shakespeare's house. So there's Peter Treadway driving across. And what I really liked about this image is that bright red, the bright red shoes and socks in there. And I'll give you an old tip. They say if you can't make a photo good, make it big. If you can't make it big, make it red. If you bring red into an image, it catches the eye. And we've got a whole bunch of images like this, but this one really caught my eye because look at the composition of where Peter's head ends up right under that little
Peter's head always winds up in weird places.
Okay.
That's just part of
I
Peter.
even like the last one where the positioning was.
Actually, I like the other one.
Peter, by the way, is one of the organizers of the photography.
Like the positioning there where he's kind of in that space in between the window and the front. I mean,
I like that shot.
I like that.
I like that one. I like that one better.
And I like how you're low to the ground.
Well, like Scott Kelby, I like to crush the composition.
Yeah.
Plug. Okay. And if we can have the next image. There we were just catching some breakfast, but notice because it was the day of the Queen's funeral, no one was out. Everybody was home watching their tellies, and we're Stratford-upon-Avon. But we've got this entire place to ourselves. So instead of crowds going across, which I would have to delete or something, we just had the whole place to ourselves, and we're able to get the shot that we wanted.
Larry, that's where I got engaged.
In Stratford?
Yes, in Stratford-upon-Avon.
That's lovely.
To Dave Williams. No, to my wife. 37 years ago, we were in Stratford-upon-Avon. That's where.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, and if Jason, if you can bring up the next image. Okay, so another case study as to why it's a good idea to have a tripod with you and certainly a platypod to get the low angles. Here we are. My wife and I went on a July 4th last year out to the George Washington Bridge. There's a place in New Jersey where you can park your car and walk right under the bridge. And it was just after a rain, and there was this nice puddle there. And people, if I could tell you anything, look for puddles when you're taking pictures, because puddles give you beautiful reflections, but only if you get down really, really low. So there's Minna standing in the background, and I set off the timer, ran back into the scene, and we've got a beautiful image. Let's go to the next one. Then, as I said, you can get to a place where you're right underneath the bridge. Now, before we go to the next picture, hold off going ahead. Notice here's a Platypod Extreme, and because this is an asphalt surface, I don't want the camera jiggling around, sliding around, so we've deployed the spikes here.
They deployed the spikes.
Yes, we deployed the spikes and set this right under the center of the bridge, angled up a little bit. And I know, Scott, you like to use a wide 14 to 24.
I do love a 14.
When you're doing, and I'm going to show that in a minute here.
Extraordinary lens.
Yes, especially when you're doing, churches and synagogues and beautiful buildings, Library of Congress, you want to catch the ceiling. But this gave a very interesting perspective. I leveled it off with a platypod. But interestingly, if you look in the far distance at the other side of the bridge, if you went up 1.5 to 2 feet, you would catch a whole bunch of buildings in the back there.
People don't realize this that's one of the secrets, secret superpowers of getting low.
Is it eliminates
unwanted
objects.
Yes, it does.
It simplifies the scene.
Very important point here. So now let's go to the final image. On to the next. There we go.
Oh, that's nice.
And you catch a very interesting perspective view.
I like that.
And of course, there's not just leading lines, but you've got the clouds angling up over here. And this was not a sky replacement.
You took
the originals, yes.
That's quite nice, Larry.
Well, thank you.
I like it.
That's better than anything you're going to see in the rest of the show.
blind photo critique. Okay,
Uh-oh.
But it's very, you catch the character of the bridge with the rust spots on it and everything, and so this is really one of my favorite images. So I believe without any further ado, let's go into the
Yes,
video
let's-
for the Platypod Delta and watch to the very
Ooh, the
end.
Delta.
Because there's something a little bit cute in the last 10 seconds. So don't blink.
Every pro photographer knows tripods make your images sharper. Platypod makes the most convenient tripods for travel. Well, that was fun. Check out our Kickstarter page to learn all about Delta.
All right.
All right, let's go.
And there you go. There's the Platypod Delta. And if you notice, I'm holding it this way, guys, because this is the way you're going to shoot. But before we do that, why don't we launch the
Yeah, you gotta
Kickstarter? People
launch
are
it.
anxious
All right,
to get
launch
into
it.
this. So,
All right, here we go.
all right, let's see your screen.
I'm ready to launch.
There we go.
All right. Let's do it. Engage.
Will you reach the $10,000 within the 38 days?
I hope so.
We need to. We're going to
go.
reach it
If
today.
not, this is going to be a very
Ready?
painful process.
Can I hit it?
Go for it.
Here we go. I'm ready
Might
to
ask
launch.
for confirmation.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Confirmed.
I
Confirm it.
confirm it.
Confirm it.
Launch.
They're like, really? Are you sure? Are you
Let's
sure?
go. It's wanting to go.
Oh,
Boom.
there you go.
All right,
Okay.
let's go. Okay.
So let's see. I'm over on Platypod
Guys, if you
right now.
if you want, you can see if you go a little further down. Forgive me for touching your.
Feel free.
All right. If you go a little further down, you're going to see a video that's made by Larry Becker, also that
Nice.
will go over how to use the Platypod Delta. So when you get a chance, take a look at that as well. But I'm going to show
Yeah,
you
it looks like you can go right to
features.
platypod.com. You can go to platypod.com, and right there
There's
in
a
the
link
middle
to
of the
it.
screen, right there is a link to it. So
All right.
there
So
you go.
let me give a quick little demo here if I can stand up. That's okay. All right.
Hey, I'll tell you what, it
Yeah.
passes the pocket test because I've
Yes,
had it in my
it
pocket. It
fits
just
right
goes
in
in
your-
your pocket.
Any
goes-
pocket.
All right,
Your
so
back
what-
pocket, your
All
shirt
right.
pocket.
Got the
Oh,
pocket
people
test.
are jumping on there. Look at
Pocket
that.
test.
All right.
Here comes
so,
the backers.
So to use it, it's very, very simple. You flip out the legs. 1, 2, 3. And it's got the retractable spikes on it. And I've extended everything, taken off. It ships with a little rubber cap on it. And
I'm actually glad you went with the Delta design because I use my Ultra with 3 spikes. I'll do that a lot of times when I do the Ultra with 3
because
spikes.
you know what, you don't have to make any adjustments. This is
Yeah.
great for when you're indoors and you have time to set it up and to balance everything. For rapid setup, having the 3 legs is really
Oh,
good.
yeah.
So you just take the Delta.
That's got the pocket test
You're going to
too.
see why I want to have the
Oh.
2 feet out in front.
See, Gene
why we
pocket
designed it in this orientation here. Okay.
Gene pocket
Take the
test
Delta.
pass.
You take your ball head. Now you can use any platypod. You can use any ball head on here. In fact, once the feet are deployed, you can even put that
too.
really right stuff BH55.
Hey,
on
we
it.
just hit our first $1,000.
Oh,
look at-
congratulations! Thank
I
you.
got
All
the
right.
Gene pocket test. Do you fit the
Okay.
Gene?
Let me put
So you
my
just put
pocket.
the ball head on there. Okay.
Oh,
let me get
perfect
my
fit.
hands out of
Yeah,
the way here.
that's what I want. This is what I wanted.
Okay.
That's all Erik wanted.
That's all I wanted.
That's all.
This is going in the pocket.
All right. So we've got the ball head on here. Now I'm going to mount Scott Kelby's favorite indoor setup for the floor. We're going to take
Yes.
a heavy camera. This is my old Nikon D850, tried and true. Sorry,
It's
guys, I
2000.
haven't gone mirrorless yet. And we've got, what kind of lens is that,
Nice.
Scott?
That's looks like a 14 to 24.
14 to 24, 2.8 lens. This is one of the most front-heavy lenses.
Dude, that is a
you're gonna
beast.
find.
That
That is
lens
a
is,
beast.
is a
It is
ridiculous beast.
And you just land it right on here. Let's tighten up.
Tighten
Ball head here.
out that ball head.
And this is the Platypod ball head, and you can get this bundled together with your Delta on Kickstarter. You can also get it bundled with the phone grip. Now, notice if I have
yeah.
the 1 foot out forward and I
what
go
I
to the
want.
side, it may tip because it's so heavy. However, if I turn it around with the 2 legs out front, which is the way it was designed
Yep.
to be used, you'll see you can even pan a little bit as long as you stay over those 2 legs, so you can still make some fine adjustments. For the coarse adjustments, pick it up, turn it. It takes a second to do. But this will hold this, no forward tipping. We used to have that problem with the Ultra. No more here. No forward tipping. Now you can use it without the spikes deployed. You can just put it right back in there and put it on the table and just use it like that, and it'll work just as well. That's it, guys. It's very simple. It ships together. It ships together with a strap. So if you want to strap it onto railings.
Are you seeing these numbers, Larry?
Oh, I'm not looking yet.
It's already over 3,500.
Thank you, everyone.
I mean, this
Wow.
whole kit goes in my pocket. Like, that was in my pocket. Like, that's amazing. Look
So
at
for
that.
straps,
I'm so
here,
happy.
you can just
Look
put
at
this. Yeah.
It's like, boom. That's
You
it.
just-
It's finally here.
Load it on here, and this way you can just hook the Delta onto the strap and mount this on a railing. Let's say you're walking by a stream and you want to have this nice and steady, and you don't want your camera to fall in anywhere. You can mount that strap in. You'll also notice 2 other items ship with it: little carabiner so that you can hook it onto your belt. And frankly, and I've already traveled around like this. Scott, can I borrow your ball head over there? Thank you. If you just put the ball head on here, okay. Mount the ball head on there, and then just spin that on. And then you just turn this to the side. This is the way that I would carry it, just like that. And that can hang off your belt or your backpack. And from here to there is just under 2 inches. It hardly protrudes at all, and you've got a very easy rig that you can use. One last
That is
item
nice.
that
You can
ships
hang it
with
off
it
your
is a
shoulder
tiny
strap.
little
Oh, yeah.
2mm, standard 2mm Allen wrench, because some people like these spikes to be real loose, and some people will like them tighter. With the Allen wrench, there's a little screw inside here, and you can adjust the tension of
yeah, look at
those
that.
spikes. And once you set them, it holds that tension pretty well for a very long time. So you don't really have to carry the Allen wrench with you. You can keep that at home, and if you want to make adjustments later, you can always do that. And that is
The Delta. Hey, I want to talk about, just briefly, because we need to get on to our blind critiques, but I want to talk briefly about why Platypod, all of the products have been such a success. And that is because Larry sends these out to a bunch of photographers. He sends out like a pre-production version, and Larry always says, tell me the truth, be honest. What do I need to do? What's wrong with it? What needs to be changed? And he listens. And it's not just me, it's not just Erik. A number of really serious
And I
photographers.
should shout out to Levi Sim, who was very
And Levi Sims,
who was very
absolutely.
instrumental here too. In this.
Is they all look at it and they all give their feedback. So by the time it comes out, it's got the input of a dozen different photographers who've used it, who've tried it, who've played with it, and here's the things we like, here's the things we wish it would do, and that's why these products like this one is so well thought out that it even has a bottle cap opener.
We're not marketing that, but it does
No,
work.
but it does. It is a bottle cap opener.
It works.
Who
But
doesn't
it's
want
just-
a bottle
These
opener
are
on their
so
Platypod?
well designed, and it's sad because once I knew I saw the first one of these, I'm like, I love the Ultra so much, but I can never go. But I have to use this one. And so if you have an Ultra, this is a big upgrade.
This is the
This is
Ultra
a big-
upgrade.
This is the Ultra upgrade. So if you already have an Ultra, or if you have an Extreme, this is it. This is the one to have. You'll be seeing me use it. In fact, can you take a look at my screen here?
So what I tend to do is I get the upgrade and then I pass the old one down to like a younger photographer.
All right, so this is me using a pre-production for the cover of my new book. So this was shot in Clearwater, Florida, on top of a parking garage. And so my new book is not a photography book. My new book, which is co-authored with Terry White, my dear friend, is called How Do I Do That in My Tesla? So it is for Tesla owners. And Terry co-authored with Terry is a Tesla guy. I am on my 14th Tesla. So I have 13 of them at my house. No, I've been driving Teslas for 10 years, and that which you see is theirs. That's my 14th one. That's just a Model 3. But I had them all. I've had all the different ones. My wife drives a Y. My daughter drives a 3. I love my
them
brother
too.
drives a Y now. He had a 3, and then he got a Y. But the whole book it's like my other books, but it's just for people who own a Tesla. And it's going to press here at the end of the month. It's all done, but we needed a cover shot, and I knew I wanted to use this. So here's the behind the scene shots. The actual shot I took here didn't wind up making the cover, and this is the shot. So I moved the car over to the right. I liked it better over there, but I needed plenty of room, for
That's the new Model 3.
That's the brand new Highlander Model 3. It's a 2024 model.
But look what that low angle does for you.
Oh, it's all about the low angle.
It
The
makes
low
it
angle's
look
where it's
awesome.
at.
It makes it look bold and big.
And so, Larry, what you can't see is what we were talking about
the
earlier.
buildings.
They're behind you. There's buildings, there's trees, there's power lines, there's all this different stuff. But when you get low, it all goes away. From that low perspective, all that
So
stuff
Scott,
went
this
away.
is the advantage of being a pediatrician. I get to view the world together with children, together with infants. And sometimes when you get down and all of a sudden you look up, everything looks humongous. That's why adults to children, we look like giants. And the same thing happens in photography. And one of the reasons that I went into this, because really, I'm a doctor and I don't really need to be doing inventions and platypods and things. But the reason I do this is because I've also been a photographer since I was a teenager. I think I've been doing photography for over 50 years. I was a high school yearbook editor and photography editor and all that. And being a photographer is important here because I saw the need. I saw the passion. It's the same passion you had going into becoming an instructor, a teacher, sharing your knowledge with the world. I wanted to be able to try to take these concepts to influence photographers and photography, and I think we've accomplished that here with Platypod, and I'm just glad and so proud to be sharing this with all our supporters, our backers, and everyone who owns a Platypod. And hey, even if you own the other ones, I think when you go on vacation next time, which is the one you're going to take with you?
I'm taking Delta.
Yeah, I think everybody will want to. You'll still find uses for your old Platypods, but this is the one you will want in your pocket for vacation because it is built for travelers.
Well, you have 37 days to go to hit the 10,000, but we're at 9,272 right now. I think you're going to hit your goal here in just about 2 minutes or a minute. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll keep an eye and see if we hit the 10,000 during the show. But I think you're going to have enough backers here, Larry.
I think I'm going to go buy 2 more.
Anyway, we're going to have enough of these. When we come back, we're doing blind photo critiques.
Cool.
Larry's going to stay with us and do
Right
the
in my
critiques
pocket.
with us. Stick around. We'll be right back.
All right, where are we at? Let's see.
Oh my gosh, we're at 25,256.
Thank you all, and please all tell your friends. This is going.
Yeah, this is hour one of the launch.
Once you break the goal, we've got to deliver, and so we are going to deliver these.
Oh yeah,
and on time.
Oh yeah, and
They're already on order.
They'll be here in March, right?
For the early backers, they'll be here in March. For others who will save a few dollars, they can get theirs in April. But this is going to move ahead, and again, we are going to deliver this on time.
All righty.
All right.
Well,
we got to give away some prizes.
Well, one last little thing. For those of you in the European Union, the EU, we are shipping now as well out of Belgium. And EU customers, I don't think are going to be paying VAT on it either. So that'll be real convenient. We've really cut down on the shipping times for everybody in the EU. And the rest of the world also will be a little bit quicker because of that shipping.
And they put a Belgian chocolate in with each one of them.
There you go.
They don't? It's a shame.
We should,
It would
but
have
we
taken things over the top.